So here we are, I guess.
Yeah, we're celebrating Sea Monkey Day. That's pretty awesome.
We are. So happy Sea Monkey Day, I guess. Here we are. We're doing, this is my first collab video. I'm not sure about you, John.
Yeah, this is the first time I've done this too. You know, usually it's just me, and that's fun, but this sounds even more fun. So I'm glad that we're doing this. So appreciate the idea.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we've obviously we both have YouTube channels. I've been I've been eyeing yours down for a while. I think we've known each other probably since the beginning of our channels. I think we're going to be going over our sets today and kind of talking about how we got into this whole silly hobby and what we're doing here.
Yeah, so I know on your channel you talk a lot about sea monkeys. I've watched. I'm not going to lie and say I've watched all your videos because I haven't, but I've watched a good chunk of them, particularly the sea monkey ones. We've got lots of other cool stuff on there too, and that's a little bit different than mine. Mine is 99% sea monkeys, but you've got all sorts of really cool stuff. So for people that want to check out stuff in addition to sea monkeys, make sure you check out the Aqualab channel because there's awesome stuff, with different sea creatures too. I always find it really fascinating. So I was, wondering how you got into sea monkeys. Obviously you're into aquatic animals, in general it seems. But what fascinated you with sea monkeys?
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is Aqualab Creations, and I actually started the YouTube channel with sea monkey videos, and this is something that I got into as a kid. I don't remember how old I was, maybe 7 or 8, and I was actually in Greece the first time we ever did sea monkeys with my parents, and I was lucky enough to where they hatched the moment of the mixing. Sometimes you mix packet number 2. Well, first of all, you have to mix packet number 1, obviously wait 24 hours, which as a kid is like the hardest thing ever.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Right, and then packet number 2, I was lucky enough to, I think it was probably a hot day, the AC was off or something, who knows what was really going on, and they hatched right away, and the moment I saw those things hatch right away, something probably happened inside my brain that I don't even think I realized till now, but it's like magic, just seeing them hatch right away, and eventually I got into like frogs and aquariums. So I'm really into reef tanks, which that's like for this hobby for me personally. It's like it's a huge, very involved. It's like the final frontier, like coral and everything. So, and sea monkeys might be what has gotten me into the whole thing. So that's really what they are for me. And of course the brine shrimp are awesome, but I think the whole packaging and again back to the magic, the art and everything, it's just it's hard to describe. So I don't know about you. How about you? I see you got a lot of live tanks running back there, and what got you in all this?
So it started for me as a kid as well, and I was probably 7 or 8 like you. But it was probably 10 years before. I think I'm a little bit older than you. But I got them as a kid. They were a gift from my mom. She bought them for my sister and I at a drugstore. And she either had sea monkeys as a kid or really wanted them. I don't really remember. But she remembered, seeing the ads in the comic books, when she was young. And she liked the artwork and thought, oh my gosh, these look like little people, with little horns on their head. And I think she did end up getting them and may have been a little bit disappointed that they don't actually look like that once they hatch.
Right,
but
yeah.
Still thought they were cool. And she was sort of telling my sister and I about them, and we were probably 7, 8, 9 years old, somewhere in there. And we ended up seeing them at the drugstore, just little Ocean Zoo kits. And I got a red one, and my sister got a blue one. And we both sort of fell in love with them. It's sort of cool. We love the artwork. We love the whimsy, the magic, like you said. And ours hatched quickly, too. And I remember seeing them hatch right away, which is funny because now, sometimes it takes me 2 days before I can see them now when I hatch them. And I don't know if my eyes got worse or if they just take longer to hatch or both. I don't know. They typically work really well for me still, but I remember seeing them on that second day when I put the second packet of powder in there. And then I loved the yellow book. the old handbook. It's fun to raise pet sea monkeys. That's what came with our Ocean Zoo kits back then. And we had no internet or anything like that to research or talk to other people. So that book was our Sea Monkey Bible. And my sister and I read that thing cover to cover. We liked ordering the accessories from the back of it, through the mail. And we just sort of had a lot of fun with it. Sadly, they never lived a super long time for me back then. I had them a couple times as a kid, maybe once or twice even as a teenager. I started working, getting my own money. I was like, oh, that kit looks cool. I remember I bought a couple kits as a teenager. One of them was one of these like day glow ones back here. This isn't the same one. I had to rebuy it, from the past couple of years.
Okay.
And I had the Explorer sub, which I think you've got right there too.
Yeah, right here.
But I bought one of these as a teenager as well. Thought it was cool. And, excuse me, those have all disappeared. I moved out of my parents' place and when I was 21 or whatever, and most of my stuff disappeared after that, besides what I took with me, which is fine. I got back into this hobby, it's about 3.5 years ago now. Now I'm married with my own kids. My kids are 8 and 10 now. And a few years ago, somehow sea monkeys came up in conversation. And I don't even remember how, but they came up in conversation. I said something about sea monkeys. My kids just stared at me like I had two heads.
I had no idea, yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? What's a sea monkey? The monkey that swims? I was like, no, they're not real monkeys. I started explaining them to them. And they're like, well, that sounds weird. It sounds sort of cool, though. They were fascinated. And so we looked at a couple YouTube videos, and I said, you know what? Why don't we get a set of sea monkeys to raise? And I work from home. I work in this room right here, typically. So I've got a desk. It's off camera over there. I was like, I can get a small little thing of sea monkeys, and I'll just keep it on my desk, and I can watch them while I'm working. It'll be fun. And so I went to the Sea Monkeys website, which I'd probably never been to before. When I bought them as a kid, I don't think they had a website at all at that point.
Yeah, it was like Toys R Us or something like that.
Yeah, so I went to the website just to see, what was available, and I saw the executive supersize suite. For those that are unaware, that's the bigger set that's made and designed, for adults. It doesn't look quite as toyish, and it's 4 times the size of a regular one. And this one, if you watch some of my other videos, you'll see I always compare it to a big cocktail glass, like one of those big fish bowl, blue or orange drinks that you put a bunch of straws in and share with a friend. I swear that's what they use, but that's what it looks like. And so I bought that, and it was December of 2020, and we started raising them, and my kids thought they were cool, and all of a sudden they wanted their own colonies. So we bought a couple starter kits, found them at Hobby Lobby. And for anyone that needs to buy starter kits for sea monkeys, they don't come with a tank. It's just the 3 main packets, a spoon, and instruction sheet. If you're in the United States, Hobby Lobby is probably the best place to buy them. It's like $6.99. And that's the best price I've seen on those. If you can find a better price, let me know, because I'd be interested too. But we bought a couple of the kits at Hobby Lobby, $6.99, and just bought some little glass jars right there at Hobby Lobby to raise them in. And it was pretty inexpensive. And so now we had 3 sea monkey tanks on my desk, 2 little colonies for the kids and a big one for me. And I'm a collector. And you can see all this Pez behind me. I collect Pez. I collected everything. And the sea monkeys just sort of they checked all the boxes, for me, for fun. Like, I love animals. I love pets. I've got cats and dogs and stuff too. So I was like, I love animals. I like collecting. I love colorful things and all these sets of colorful. I see a lot of yours there. Mine back here, lots of different colors. I love, whimsical and fun things, and so all of a sudden I started collecting sea monkey tanks, and I was going online and buying the vintage ones, and I wasn't trying to buy all of them at first. I was just buying the ones that I thought were really cool and unique. So to me, that was everything that wasn't an Ocean Zoo. The Ocean Zoo, I think it's a cool tank, but it's
but if you can get it wherever you want. It's the one, It's not a collectible.
And they've been using that design for decades, since before you and I were born, So I was like, okay, they're all right, but let's get the cool ones. Like, I started buying these mini worlds, or some of the first ones that I bought, I love these. Like this one's a moon one. You have the moon one?
I do.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to take the flags out of mine because I was using this, and the silly sea monkeys kept knocking the flags over. I don't know
Really?
why.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there's a blue flag and a white flag in there.
Yeah, there
You know those
is.
in
Yeah,
yours?
they're in there.
Yeah. They kept knocking both of those over. I couldn't stop them. And I was afraid it was going to fall on top of one of them and like trap it, so I had to take the flags out. But yeah, I bought the mini worlds and started getting into some of the other ones. The space shuttle, which I've got right over there.
That's one I've been trying to get my hands on for a while. Yeah, that one's a really cool one. So
It is really cool. They're going for a lot of money right now too.
I know, it's crazy.
I'm glad I got into this hobby when I did because the prices now for most of the stuff are, triple to quadruple the prices of when I got into it. I was buying a lot of this stuff in 2021, and I'm going to probably tick some people off, but I'll go ahead and say I spent $75 on my space shuttle, new in the box.
Yeah, wow, yeah, you would never know. Yeah. That was right before it started taking off again. I feel like there's a new, they're kind of having a comeback now, and I think with everything TikTok and and everything being so retro 90s and 80s that it totally makes sense.
It does. It's so cool. I love seeing that there's YouTube channels like yours and mine, and there's others too. Pico Cosmos is one of it's probably the most popular.
Yeah, John. Yeah, he needs a big shout out for
John's
sure.
stuff is fantastic. I love watching his videos, and there's others as well. I think people are watching these and becoming fascinated, and the hobby's growing. At least in the collector market. There's collectors and stuff like us, which honestly are probably the minority of their product sales. The majority is kids and parents picking them up at the drugstore and the bookstore or wherever they're finding them. Yeah. But the hobbyist community has definitely been growing over the past few years, which I think is fun. I like getting to know other people with the same interests. It's really cool. When I got into the hobby, I didn't have the YouTube channel at all. I was just sort of collecting stuff, and I got into Facebook groups first. And there's some great Facebook groups out there. My favorite one is the Sea Monkey Clubhouse, but there's a couple other big ones too for sea monkey enthusiasts or people just looking for tips on how to raise them. And you get like two types of people in there. There's the people that are raising the pets, and then the people that are collecting the sets. And then some people are both.
Yeah. Would you call yourself both, I guess?
Yeah,
most
absolutely.
Like it. Yeah.
But yeah, I started recording YouTube videos just so I could share the links in the Facebook group easier. So the channel wasn't even called Sea Monkey Dude or anything. It was just my personal YouTube account that I've had for over a decade at this point. And I basically used it for sharing family videos and stuff before. Didn't really have an active channel. But I started recording Sea Monkey videos and posting them on Facebook, and people started watching them. I was like, oh, well, maybe this is something here. So then I just kept doing it. And, we're 3 years later now or whatever, and got about 300 Sea Monkey videos on there, I think. So.
Yeah, that's quite a collection, man. But yeah, I like that you mentioned the Explorer sub, because that's actually probably one of my favorites that I have here.
You like that one, yeah?
Yeah, right now, currently, I only have, only one Sea Monkey tank. It's the Sea Monkeys on Mars. This one right here is an Aqua Dragons tank. It's the Aqua Dragons in space. But the submarine, this is one where I don't really dare to open it yet, one day maybe, but I'd say that's one of my favorites. And
it is a really cool one. I need to get another one. So if you happen to see another one that's available for sale and you don't want it for yourself, feel free to let me know. But the one that I've got, it's just a shell, basically. The electronics have been gutted out of it. So there's nothing underneath there. You see the buttons are gone. It would still work as a Sea Monkey tank. I could still have pets in here if I wanted. But when I bought it, I knew it was broken basically. So I got it for dirt cheap, which is great. But I would love one that works with all the lights and the bells and whistles and all that. So someday.
You got a lot of tanks that are running right there for sure. Do you know how many you have? Full colonies off the top of your head right now?
Oh, these ones are all empty right now.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, these ones are just the empty ones. The ones that are active right now, they're over on my desk, and I've got two really big ones, which you've probably seen. Let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 that are in Sea Monkey branded tanks right now.
Okay, nice.
I have 3 executive sets, including the current executive supersized suites. The new Super Bowl, have you seen that one?
I'm not sure if I have, to be honest.
So it's on the Australian Sea Monkey website. They
Okay.
used to call it Super Set, and they made some minor changes to it. It looks like a fishbowl.
Yeah, it's the
You know,
big.
it's almost like
Is it the?
yeah, it's almost like their version of the executive supersized suite, but it's
Exactly.
a tiny bit smaller, and it's
Okay.
not on a little stand. It looks like a regular fishbowl. So it's 3 times the size of a standard tank. They changed the name from Super Set to Super Bowl, I think, just within the past couple months, and the actual bowl that it comes with is a little bit different. It used to be a glass one, which actually this is the old one right here. It's
Okay.
just like a fishbowl. This is made out of glass,
Got it.
and it came with 3 times the packets and some other accessories. The new one is plastic, and it's shaped almost identically to this. There's a little lip on the top, but very, very similar. But I've got that one going right now, and I've got a Sea Monkeys in the City Mini World, which got an empty one right here. It's got
Nice.
the little buildings, the parks, and the cars.
Yeah,
Really
that
fun
was
one.
really cool.
Yeah, and then I've got a nursery tank going right now too. So the actual Sea Monkey branded nursery tank.
Okay, it's got
You've
like
seen
little
that, right?
beds in there or something like that. I never actually had that
That's what the
set.
packaging does.
Okay,
The tank itself, it's a little plastic tray. It's
Okay, got
it's
it.
nothing fancy looking. It's just this little plastic tray that you would have no idea is a Sea Monkey tank unless you knew it or you bought it. The packaging looks similar to what we're used to. It's got beds. It looks like a nursery at a hospital. With little babies tucked into their beds with blankets and stuff. But the actual tank itself, it's clear plastic, no color to it. It's pretty flimsy. Like, you're familiar with the marine zoos? It's
I
sort of
am.
like that.
I am actually. I think I have one
You got one
somewhere
over
over
there?
here. I do somewhere.
Here, I've got a few of them over here.
Yeah, here we go. This little guy.
All right, you got one in the package. Here's one that's out of the package.
Okay.
So for
nice.
those of you guys that aren't familiar with the marine zoo, I think most people are familiar with ocean zoos if you've done any research or had sea monkeys. This is a tiny bit smaller than an ocean zoo, and the material is really thin. You can see it's like 3 parts. You got the tank itself, which is super thin
Yeah.
plastic, similar to the plastic that the packaging is made out of. And then you've got, real basic lid, thin plastic, and then this little plastic base. And you got the craters in there like you do in the ocean zoos too. But the nursery tank, it's basically a clear plastic that's about this quality. And it's a little rectangular tray. It's interesting. I've got a few videos showing that off, so if anyone wants to see it, feel free to take a look. But yeah, it's an interesting set for sure. But I've got one of those active, and I'm using it for its intended purpose. I'm raising the babies in there.
Yeah. Hey,
And
that's
moving them over into other tanks. Yeah.
that's cool. I think they're like easier to observe maybe in that smaller tank. Maybe is the idea. I got a ton of things here. I'm gonna start kind
Let's
of
see what you got. You got some fun stuff.
make a little room here. But yeah, I got these action figures right here.
Yeah.
These are some other ones that I kind of don't dare to open yet, but maybe someday soon. I think you have some of yours in one of your huge tanks, right?
I do, and I've got some of them right here too. We're opposite in that way. I open everything.
Okay.
So I've got the 4 figures, the mom, dad, and the son and daughter.
Ah, nice.
I've only got one of them in a tank right now, though. The mom is swimming with some of my actual sea monkey pets.
Okay.
I've got the other 3 over here. Here's the other one. These guys are awesome. I love the design of them. They look so cool. The heads move, the bodies move, and the tails are like bendable, which is cool too.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah.
You'll have more fun with them if you open them, I swear.
Yeah, yeah, I might. You know, I'm kind of like I like to collect these, and you know,
Yeah.
here's the thing: I'll buy 2 of everyone that I do open. That's kind of what I do. So if I'm able to buy,
Yeah.
if I'm able to find, you know, what's this? The dad. If I can find another dad, or
Mhm.
or another mom, then possibly. But until then,
Right.
they're collectibles. Yeah.
Have you seen the little seahorse and snail ones?
Yeah, I have. I was actually the one time I was searching to see if that was even a Sea Monkey brand, but I think it was. It is. Yeah, it's official.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
don't have those ones. I've seen them come up on eBay once or twice over the past couple years, and I just wasn't able to pull the trigger. They're a bit pricey.
Yeah.
They're cool though.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's you know the prices. I mean, honestly, with the submarine kit, I have this up on Mercari for a good chunk of change, but that's only because I just want it. You know, I'm keeping this for myself. But if somebody was to want that, that's probably the only one out of this set that I kind of have for sale. Maybe one of these pirate gold
Yeah.
too. But you know, that's just like the value that I personally put on it.
Right.
Because it's something I actually recently sold my projector, the big time projector, and
Oh, the big show projector tank?
yeah, and I felt pretty bad about it, honestly. After I sold it, I was like, oh man, now I have to find another one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this guy right here.
Yeah, that was really
This
cool.
is one of my favorites. This was one of the first ones that I bought, you know, back in like 2021. I thought this was so cool. And it's almost like the Ocean Zoo style still. It's a similar shape.
Yeah, it's got the
But
light in
when it
there.
actually projects the shadows of the pets like on the wall or on a screen, I just thought it was super neat. And I had an active colony in here for a long time, and I don't right now, but I'll probably use it again at some point.
Yeah, that's a pretty
Yeah.
cool one for sure.
Have you seen that there's 2 different package variations on this one too?
Yeah, is it an Australian one or German one or something like that?
I've seen an American one, which you can tell easily because it says exclusively sold at Toys R Us right on the front.
Okay, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I guess here in the U.S., that's where you had to go to buy it.
Uh-huh.
And I've got a UK version as well, which they may have used that same version in other countries, so maybe Germany or Australia.
Got it.
But
got it.
the something in the writing made me think, you know, it's UK. But it doesn't. The biggest clue is it doesn't have the Toys R Us logo on the front of it. But the package contents are the same. You know, it's the same tank. You get the same packets and spoon and all that. But I know there's people out there that collect package variations too. And
Yeah,
I'm
wow.
not one of those people. I open everything. But for people that like package variations, make sure you take a look at that.
Yeah, that's funny. We were talking about it earlier. The only one I have unopened that's Sea Monkey is on Mars, and I think that's the only one you have that's packaged.
Yeah, it's right there. I'll grab it here. Oh. Stuff's gonna fall. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Yeah, this one I bought it from SeaMonkeys.com a few months ago.
Okay.
It was simply because I didn't have one yet, you know,
Yeah,
and
it's nice to have.
I guess I just wasn't in a hurry to get this one because I knew it was current, you know, and it doesn't cost a whole lot of money, you know. It's a cool tank, but to me, it just wasn't a priority. You know, over the past
for
few
sure.
years. And then a few months ago, I was on SeaMonkeys.com buying something else. I don't remember what I was buying, but I was buying something, and they had this on there. I was like, well, I guess I should buy one of these. You know, I don't have it, and it's sort of cool. And I like making unboxing videos for my YouTube channel, and so I was like, someday I'll do an unboxing video with it, just so people can see, you know, what it comes with and stuff like that. So I will open this and record it at some point, and I'll set it up and use it at least for a little while. Sometimes, you know, I'll set up tanks and I start running out of room, you know, if I've got too many of them set up. So I'll combine colonies sometimes, you know, test the water parameters, make sure salinity's, you know, pretty close to the same, and temperature's the same in all my tanks. They're all in this room. I'll test that and combine colonies sometimes just to make more room on my desk, because my desk with my active colonies is over there, and that's actually where I work every day, you know. So I gotta have room for my computers and notebooks and stuff like that too, since I work from here. But yeah, I do like the way this looks.
Yeah, I've actually had a lot of luck with this tank. Like, not this one in particular. This one's running about 120 days, and there's, you know,
Mhm.
4 adults in here and a few babies. It's not doing amazing, but I've had some other ones where my longest running one was, I think I hit 2 years with it actually. You
That's
know, I
awesome.
just hit that guarantee where I couldn't get the guarantee on it anymore if they were to die. But yeah.
2 years is impressive, man.
Yeah, that was one of the longest ones. I think I have a YouTube video on it out there.
Mhm.
You know, towards the end there was like one sea monkey left, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna call it. But yeah, it was a good, and I like combining colonies too. With these two, I actually did a little swapping in there with the.
You recorded that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And they're
saw
you know,
that.
I'm on the 3rd generation now, so they're going, and there'll be an update soon. So I'm excited for that one.
Okay. Yeah, I love seeing those. It's funny, your video styles are very different from mine, and I think that's a good thing, honestly. I like that there's different types of content out there for people that are into this hobby. You know?
Oh yeah.
And I talked to some of the other people that make Sea Monkey videos too, and their style is different from yours and from mine, you know, again, which I think is great, you know, so there's so many different, there's a big variety of types of content out there, so people don't just have to watch, you know, multiple channels where they're all just talking about the same thing in the same way. You know, I love that everyone's got their own personality and their own style with what they're sharing, so.
Definitely.
I love watching your videos where you say, okay, this is day 175 or whatever, and here's how the colony's doing, and then you feed them or aerate the water or whatever, you know. But it's like, wow, it's impressive that you got them to live that long, first of all, but then that you've been very meticulous about recording when you started the colony and how long it's. Cause I don't know. I look at mine. It's like, all right, when did I start that? I don't know. It was like 5 months ago, I think. You know. And
I mean, like you said,
I'm
every channel has
like that, I guess.
Yeah, like you said, every channel is different, and that's what makes them cool. And there's so many aspects to this, you know, from collecting it to like zooming in and getting some really nice shots to just, you know, you have like the largest sea monkey colony in the world. Is that a real record, by the way, that you have? Because that's pretty cool.
So yeah, if anyone wants to see it, I've got a whole playlist within my YouTube channel that's all about the world's largest sea monkey colony. So feel free to check out those videos. I've got everything from getting the packets in the mail to what it's like currently, you know, 2 years later. So
That's cool.
yeah, and it's a verified record. So yeah, but yeah, that's a fun one. And I've got one other large tank too. It's not a record-setting tank, but I've got one other really large aquarium that's not Sea Monkey branded, but a 15-gallon aquarium with sea monkeys in it. So
Nice.
I'm going to be starting another big one soon too. So assuming that everything goes smoothly and we get a good hatch rate and all of that, it should break the current record for the largest colony. So with my new one. And it's almost like I'm breaking the fourth wall with that one, because right now all my sea monkey stuff is contained in this room, which is also my office, and we also call it the Pez room. You can see I collect Pez dispensers, and they're everywhere in this room. This new tank, it's so big I couldn't fit it in here, so it's in my family room. And it's not set up yet, but it's there. I found it on Facebook Marketplace. It's just this big 35-gallon aquarium that I bought. And yeah, we're going to put sea monkeys in there.
Wow, 35. And you're doing this all with packets, right? Like sea monkey packets?
Yeah.
You're not, no aquarium salt, just straight sea monkey products. Okay.
We're using Sea Monkey brand products.
Wow.
Yeah, so Transcience, the company that owns the Sea Monkey brand, they've been very generous with me and sponsored some of my projects. Not all of them, but some of them.
That's
and
great.
it's been a huge help. So thankful to Brian and Yolanda over there. They like what I'm doing, I guess, and they've been happy to supply some packets for some of the projects in the past. So yeah, I like using the Sea Monkey brand. The brand, it brings back, you know, memories, like you were saying, you know, from childhood, you know, and also it works. sea monkeys have been around for over 60 years. They're
Yeah,
I've only been around 40 years. So they've been doing this a long time, and they sort of know what they're doing. And they've got the measurements all made for you. I see a lot of people asking online, different forums on Reddit and Facebook and stuff, asking, well, how much salt do I use and how many eggs do I use? It's like, I don't know. I just use the sea monkey packets. And
yeah. It's all
packing 1
calculated out
plus
right
plus
there.
12 ounces of water equals success. And I just multiply that up for the bigger tanks. That's it. It's about 11 pairs of packets per gallon of water. And I know that number, and that's really what you need to know.
That's great, and yeah, that's awesome that Brian and Yolanda have been helping you out there from time to time. They've been great. They sent me a shirt and a calendar a while back too, and
Nice.
I made a little shirt of me a little video of me trying out the shirt.
Is it the Sea Monkeys Lovers shirt?
It is.
That one?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I got one of those too.
Nice. So I see you got the Pez, and you mentioned the Pez. I don't know what other hobbies you're into or what you really enjoy, other than Sea Monkey products or things that are related to it. I guess you're a big collector from all angles, it seems like.
Yeah, I used to collect everything. When I was a kid, I loved collecting stuff. Everything from foreign money, I thought that was cool. U.S. coins, sports cards, comic books, action figures. The Pez, I've been collecting Pez for almost 30 years now. And now Sea Monkey stuff. But back probably 6 or 7 years ago, as a younger adult, I didn't have room for everything. I don't live in a huge house. And so I actually toned down my collections, and I said, okay, I'm going to focus on one, and the one that I'm most passionate about is Pez. So I sold off just about everything else. I've got a couple books of Pogs left. If you remember Pogs, they were popular when I was a kid, at least. And
no, I'm not too familiar.
You don't know Pogs. You're young, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. They're little round pieces of cardboard with graphics on them, and you would stack them up, and you'd take a thing called the slammer and throw it at them and try to flip them over to play a game with them and collect them.
Interesting.
Okay, I'm gonna have to send you some Pog videos later because they're pretty cool. They're a big part of my childhood, but I love those because you could collect them and play a game with them. I guess the modern equivalent would be like Pokemon cards or something,
Okay.
But it was fun. But yeah, I've sold off just about everything and really focused on Pez for the past several years. And then the Sea Monkey thing sort of happened, and that wasn't really planned. It just sort of happened, but I've been enjoying it. So now it's Sea Monkeys and Pez, and that's about it right now as far as collecting. But if I had a bigger home and more space, I'd probably collect a lot more stuff too. 'Cause I enjoy it. I enjoy old toys, cereal prizes, Happy Meal toys, stuff like that. I love things with brand mascots and stuff on them. I like advertising and unique marketing, so some of my favorite Pez dispensers are like Captain Crunch and stuff like that,
Okay.
So,
Nice.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
how about you? You got other stuff outside of Sea Monkeys and other aquatic animals?
Yeah, definitely. So, like we said, the Sea Monkey thing, I started as a kid, and just like you, in about 2020, 2021, it kind of re-sparked again. I got into collecting as old products as I could find. Like this one right here is 1971. I think this is the oldest one I have.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
it's a great shape too.
Yeah, it is. It's even the it's still punched in. I'm not sure what it's called. The hanger part.
The hang tag holding. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but other than that, I'm just really into the aquarium stuff. I got into freshwater aquariums, reef tanks, Aqualab Creations. I'm actually taking that name and branding it into an aquarium maintenance company. I have a lot of friends and people that just need their aquariums done. So, just kind of broadening it up to all my passions that come with aquariums, really. So, I could talk about that all day. Reef tanks and coral and clownfish, like the iconic Finding Nemo fish and all that stuff. So, that's another thing I saw as a kid too. Actually, when I first saw a dory fish, I just fell in love. I was like, I need to have this, and it's not easy. They're not cheap. So at the time, trying to get my parents to like help me out with that, and it was just really tough. So until you kind of do it on your own and make a lot of mistakes, you're gonna get some parasites and diseases, and you're gonna learn from it.
Yeah.
So even with sea monkeys, there's a lot of things that are related. Aerating the tanks, for instance, temperature. All these things are part of the same science, and it's very delicate. I mean, 3 degrees off, and you walk in the next day and your colony's dead.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how it goes. Sometimes my heater would break in the winter, and my sea monkeys would be dead. As simple as that. So
I've had similar stuff happen, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah. So it comes with the hobby, but yeah. So it was a pleasure doing this, man. Hopefully we'll do it again sometime soon.
Yeah. So we talked about YouTube. Do you have Aqualab Creations on other social platforms too?
I do. Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I have a website now, aqualabcreations.com. So that'd be a good hub to find everything, where you can find Aqualab Creations YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Mostly Instagram and YouTube if you want to see a lot of videos, and that's where the most action is. But I have, like I said, building a storefront in the whole 9 yards to kind of turn the aquarium passion into a business, which it already is, but. Just having fun with it and want to make sure I'm doing things right. So, yeah, and I think you've got a website too, right? And
yeah, I sure do. It's just seamonkeydude.com. There's no dashes or anything. Just seamonkeydude. And I've got links to all my social platforms on there. Like you, I'm most active on Instagram and YouTube, but I do have a Facebook page and TikTok as well. Not quite as active on TikTok, but I've got videos up there. If anyone wants to check them out, feel free to take a look and leave comments and let me know what you think. Yeah. But yeah, my website, Sea Monkey Dude, has got tips about raising the pets. It shows off my collection a little bit. And I've got some stuff that's available for trade, and I usually list it there too. So if anyone wants to swap products and help build both of our collections, let me know.
Yeah, that's a really cool website. I actually popped on your website. You got the Sea Monkey packets there as I think they're buttons or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's really nicely laid out, and I see.
I can't take any credit for that. I am not an artistic person at all. I've got to give credit to my friend Ivan. He's another sea monkey collector, and he's from Australia. And you might know him from the Facebook groups, but Ivan does all my graphic design work for me. So
wow. Nice.
He helped me tremendously with the website. And if you look at the intro videos to my YouTube videos, he made those as well. So
nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Awesome dude. Yeah, good friend and incredible artist. So
awesome, man. Well, it's been a pleasure, and I'll be seeing you on YouTube, right? We'll be seeing each other, and happy Sea Monkey Day, everybody.
Yeah, happy Sea Monkey Day, everyone.